Welcome to the Babbling with Brooke show. I'm your host, Brooke Mallon, and today we'll be talking about Sports Illustrated Swimsuit. My hope is within having these conversations that there are other layers and themes that arise, such as what it means to be human, celebrating each other, and maybe deepening our ability to accept ourselves and each other. If you've been keeping up with Tiffany Haddish, one of the cover models of SI Swimsuit, she's been covering for Jimmy Kimmel Live and she's been killing it. And to me, she carries such a light in her comedy, even though she's so real and funny. There's something that really reminds me how comedy can be this doorway to self-acceptance, to accepting the humanity in ourselves and in each other. And so Tiffany, you're really gifted with that. But anyway, tune into what she's up to. She's pretty freaking funny. At the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Social Club launch weekend in New York City, there was this station where you could make your own perfume. And it was really interesting to me because there was this array of different scents that could be the base of your perfume. And as I was going through so many of them, and there was a plethora, and just, bringing it to my nose, I realized I don't like almost any of the scents. I just had a really strong aversion, except to two of the scents. One was citrus, one was, something like sage or something earthy. But all the rest, I just felt like a disgust or an aversion of and it was very clear and very strong to me. And then when I enjoyed something, that was also very clear and very strong for me. For those who've ever been pregnant, your sense of smell can heighten, or like your tastes, your cravings and things that you enjoy can change and shift, and you can be really clear and gross, or like, oh yes, I like that. And sometimes I just think we get so caught up in like trends or people pleasing that we don't always tune into not only our likes, but our dislikes, and, remove the judgment from it, that it's just telling us more of who we are. And it's okay to have aversions to some things, or for not everything, to be your thing. And it doesn't mean we're a bad person. Some things will resonate and some might repel, and it's just feedback and information for each of us, and it really is okay. So this reminded me of that, of like your intuition and trusting yourself, that it's okay not to like something or to have an aversion to something. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. So anyways, thank you for this reminder. If anyone has been tuning in to anything going on with SI Swimsuit, the magazine release, or the runway show. Okay, I want feedback. Those of you who've seen the runway show, it's on Hulu. If you have the combination of Hulu and Disney Plus, you can watch it now. All right, what did you think? So here's my truth. I was nervous to watch the show. I was a little nervous because I was afraid I wasn't going to like it, or I was afraid that my inner critic would be like too loud. I was blown away. I loved the show. Oh my God. It was a spectacle. It sucked me in from start to finish. It was a show. It is a show. So if you have not watched, go watch the show. It's spectacular. Just the theatrics, the energy, the feeling of these women celebrating and supporting women, just this massive girl party and celebration of women. Lizzo, her music, her messaging, the dancers, the energy, again, everything. Oh my God. There was humor. Tiffany Haddish was hilarious. The Nader sisters, hilarious. So there's comedy in it. I feel like it hit every note. I think there was literally something for everyone. And it was just fascinating to watch. For me, it was fascinating to kind of see like what translates through different mediums, like from print to walking the runway to video advertisements, and different things translate differently. And I thought it was interesting to kind of watch from that angle as well, and just to notice what I was really attracted to or what sucked me in. So she killed it. Tiffany Haddish was awesome on the runway. She seemed like herself, but yet like multi-dimensional, sexy, hilarious, funny, just everything. She brought it. She brought her A game and was so much fun to watch. She got up there with Lizzo, just so much fun. Her joke about chicken fingers, she is hilarious. And then I was so surprised that some of the energy I was most attracted to, or that felt the most confident, were the models who were the most calm. There were just some models like Nicole Williams English, Lauren Chan, Hunter McGrady, there's lots of them, Jocelyn Corona, but there was sometimes just this calm within a model, for me personally, that I found so attractive. It just sucked me in. There was something effortless, even if they had like, you know, rehearsed and they had something intentional they were doing with their body language that was powerful. There was this calm, like there was no rush. And that to me was like the most seductive and the most powerful, was the women who brought that calm. It was really powerful. So go watch the show, just amazing. But with that being said, so I watched the show and I loved it. You know, did I have a thought about one or two of the models? Like, is that healthy? Yes, I had the thought. It doesn't mean that the thought I had is true. No, not necessarily. A thought is just a thought. I don't know. And there were more afterthoughts. I really just loved the show. I thought it was incredible. But I did see online that there was a little, like a little controversy that came up from one of the sponsors. And here's the thing. I think that two opposing truths, I just said it, they can be true. Opposing, you know, perspectives can be true simultaneously. And it's worth, like, I feel like letting people be heard and express their truth, and it's interesting and it sparks conversation. And I think all press in some ways is good press. It's good for us to talk and connect. But anyways, one of the sponsors, cakes, they're like these, I don't know how to describe them. They remind me of when I was a little girl, my grandma, she had a double mastectomy. And so she had these like silicone things she put in her bra, and I would play with them as a little girl. But these like stick on and support you as an option to bras for different shirts, like backless dresses or things that would be difficult to wear a bra with. They look really cool and clever. I've not tried them. They do look really appealing. But one of the founders had shared that on the runway, there were no models between a size 4 and a size 8, which actually is where I sit. But I didn't notice it when watching the show. I didn't realize that that was missing. But again, I'm sure, like, you know, if you go to the clothing store, probably those are a lot of the jeans or the pants and things that get sold out pretty quickly would be like 4 to 8. I think a lot of people sit there. So there was a lack of representation from that body type for whatever reason. And her conversation was saying that some models were very slim, from like a 0 to 2. And then there was size 10 up, and that middle size woman was not being represented. And there was an incident with her co-founder, and they both were about a size 6, she said, where somebody had said to her, that they thought she was expecting, that she was pregnant. And so this woman's thought was, is it because we're only seeing women who are ultra thin, or women who are, you know, classically considered plus size? If then people are judging like a regular body as, you know, an expecting body. And if this could be part of like the perception, or of how people's perception is getting so warped, is because maybe we're not seeing or being exposed to that mid-sized woman. So it was an interesting conversation that she put in the mix. But I do have to make a confession. If you ever watched Hannah Berner's special, she talks about this momentarily. She talks about if a woman maybe ate a burrito or was, you know, on her period, and if she was indicating and like holding her belly or standing a certain way, or, you know, physically, that people might assume she's pregnant and move over and give her seat. I I had a kid's birthday party a couple weeks ago, and I've never done this. Said to a woman congratulations, and I was 100% sure she was expecting. She was like rubbing her belly, and it was the way she was holding it. She had 2 kids about my age, and I don't know, came out of my mouth. And I know I will never ever do that again. But I made that mistake. And it's like, okay, does this person who did this need to hide away forever in shame? You know, the forgiveness piece of being human or saying the wrong thing. And you know what? Pregnant people come in many different sizes. Pregnant people look many different ways. And is it such a terrible thing to be pregnant or to look pregnant? I look pregnant most of the time. I probably look pregnant right now. And I still got hit on by the clerk at the 7-Eleven. I think they hit on me anyway. They said that my ID doesn't do me any justice. So either that or I need a new state ID or a new driver's license. So anyway, my point is it really so terrible? Maybe sometimes we need to give ourselves and each other a little bit of grace. Who knows, they might have misheard something that this woman had said as well. Maybe the event was loud. Now I'm thinking for her, maybe she's trying to get pregnant. Who the heck knows? But we're all human. At times we're going to say the wrong thing. We're going to do the wrong thing. We're going to be a little too much or a little not enough or whatever. And so holding space that, you know, moments like this are going to come up, and it's great if it opens the door to have a conversation, to talk about it and find a way to accept ourselves and each other and move forward. So anyway, I'm spilling the tea on that, and I'm making my own confession that, yep, I did that. And I'm not going to do it again, but I did it. So I think we're all caught up with that. Continuing on with my discussion of likes and dislikes, there's something else I think that's important. There was an influencer, I'll tag them below, who was talking about how a sneaky part of him, when he gives a presentation or a class or something, afterwards, he'll already be plotting or planning for the next thing or what he could improve on or do differently, which is great. It's a wonderful part of the creative process, but he also said it was kind of sneaky and in like taking away from him or not honoring like what he did put out there and the beauty or the fullness, the wholeness of what he did create and what he already contributed. So I think that's important too, whether we're offering criticism to others or to ourselves, is like to acknowledge you know, the gift that was offered and as it is. But yeah, we can share ideas and all of that. It's good. That's partly how we grow and evolve and contribute more. So I'll share a little something. I love about Sports Illustrated Swimsuit. I love the body diversity, the age diversity. I love that there are so many different body types being celebrated, ages being celebrated. I actually like, you can see some fine lines and celebration of aging in some of these photos. I think it's amazing. To have all of this diversity is just incredible, from athletes to just everything, just so much diversity. It's one of my favorite things about Sports Illustrated Swimsuit. One thing I'm not a big fan of, tight crops. Not talking crop tops. I'm talking cropped photos without like headroom or cutting off fingers. I don't know if it's because I'm a millennial and I typically part my hair to the side, and so it's just what I know or what I'm familiar with, or if it's the yoga teacher in me that doesn't like us cutting off people's auras. I don't know. Or if it's the over 40-year-old in me that has no interest in getting Botox. So I'm like, we need some space. I don't know. It's just my personal preference. However, with that being said, like, bam, does Jasmine Sanders need headroom? No, she doesn't. Is her aura like cut off here? No, her aura is glowing. So there's exceptions to every preference. And I give SI Swimsuit a lot of credit for trying a lot of different crops. And I feel like in the photo style, there's a little bit more exploration. So good for the photographers and the brand for playing in that, for exploring. But it's fun to be able to share, like, what are we drawn to and why, and not judge ourselves as being a bad person for like what our preferences are. It's okay. So, And then with that, I know I last shared about MJ Day and how much I just love her as a person, her humanity, how humble she is, how loving and warm she is. But it's her vision of embracing this diversity of what beauty is that has really brought this trajectory of acceptance into SI Swimsuit. If it's okay for me to read a little bit of her editor's letter, just one little piece here is she says, SI Swimsuit, it is a movement that celebrates self-acceptance, personal evolution, and the boundless definition of beauty. And that's so much of what I love about SI Swimsuit. It's not one note, it's not putting beauty in a box. And that's the thing about beauty, is the more you try to define it or like grasp it, the more it evades you. So this is part of my love for SI Swimsuit. Go look at the issue. It's incredible. And the runway show is so much fun. Dancing with the Stars. There's all this great dancing and energy and spontaneous happenings, and just seeing the love and the support of all the models with each other and backstage. It's really so much fun. So bye for now. Thanks so much.